I believe 2025 is the last year to officially make some real money, right? I believe 2025 is your last year, is my last year to really get rich, right? Not even just get rich, but make a comfortable amount of money to where you don't have to struggle. You don't have to uh, check your bank account every single time something comes out. You don't have to look over your shoulder, looking at the bill collector, looking at that bill collector, wondering who's coming after you, worried about a repossession, worried about a rent payment, worried about the mortgage payment. 2025 is that last year. Look around, man. Everything is closing up. Private, public, it doesn't matter. Technology is speeding up, right? Technology is becoming more efficient. It's either you get with it or get rolled over. That's what's going on now. What are you going to do? Right? Because after 2025, I'm going to tell you right now, gentlemen, ladies, if you're watching, after 2025, there's going to be an almost non-existent path upward, right? They're going to make it damn near impossible for you to have any kind of upward mobility. It has already been happening for the past 10, 20 years already. People have been getting poorer, right? People have been losing jobs. Americans are underskilled, and there seems to be no sight in mind of the government, trying to get Americans reskilled, right? So they can get better positions so that we as a nation can be more efficient and more accurate and just overall more knowledgeable on the future. That seems to be non-existent. That is not going to happen, right? And as you can see, you can't depend on anybody. You can't depend on the government. You can't depend on these corporations. Loyalty, the corporate loyalty has died. I think that died in the 80s, right? Well before I was born, right? Corporate loyalty died in the 80s. Remember when you can go work for a company for 20, 25 years, right? And retire, right? Have enough to retire. And they threw you a whole party, right? They put your plaque on the wall. You can always come by the office and see your face. Yeah, John did 25 years. He was one of the best employees that we ever had. And they throw you an anniversary, a retirement anniversary party every single year, did you? And they tell everybody, all the new hires, this was John right here. Nobody has ever been able to do the sales and work as hard as John right here, right? He put in his 25 years and look at him. Now he's in Cabo. He's traveling the world. He has three investment properties, and he sent all of his 5 kids to university, and they're all studying law, right? Those days are over with, man. Those days are over with. They don't give a damn about John, right? Nowadays, you'll be lucky if you make it to 25 years at a company. What? I can't even imagine, Ninja. I can't imagine working. I can't imagine in today's time. I can't imagine putting in 20, 25 years for a corporation. Not for me, right? Now, all of us, we're going to work for the rest of our lives for the most part, right? You're always going to be doing something. That's what I mean. You're here to produce, right? As a human being, as a man, you're here to produce, right? And there's no such thing as just sitting down still. You think you're about to vacation and sit on the beach sipping pina coladas all dang on day. No, that's not going to happen. You're going to work. However, that corporate loyalty, right, where you can just apply for a job and you can sit comfortably, comfortability is dead. There's no comfortability. You need to get uncomfortable now, right? You need to get uncomfortable. Like I say all the time, too many Americans are used to being on the nipple, right? They're used to the government coming and save them, right? The government they have their things that they're supposed to do. However, there are too many Americans who have been stuck on a nipple for so long. Now that nipple is drying up, now mommy doesn't have any more milk now. Mommy doesn't have any more milk. Mommy doesn't have any more milk. That milk is drying up. You've been on that nipple too long, right? You're no longer an infant. It's time to grow up. It's time to walk, right? You're not even crawling anymore. It's time to walk. Many of you have been, just immobilized, right? Disabled for so long, right? Because you got the media disabling people. You got social media disabling people. You got your parents disabling you. Nobody's telling you the truth. I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here, and I'm not done. This is the Escape Blueprint, PFP Life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life. Right? Everybody's telling you, yep, do this, go to school, get a degree, and go work for the man. Right? Go work for Coca-Cola. Go work for the Fortune 500. Go find your Fortune 500 company that matches your 401k. Bro, those days are dead, man. 401k, what's a 401k? What's a 401k if you didn't work 30 years ago? If you're not retiring and you haven't been working the past 30 years, right, to where a 401k actually matters, listen, that ship is sailed. And then for the people who have worked that long, most of them don't even have enough to retire. So people, and then on top of that, how many people actually have retirement funds in their account? Guess what? Top 5%. For you to even have that kind of money, guess what? You have to have worked a high-end job. So we're talking about high-end engineers. We're talking about doctors, attorneys, specialized positions where they can put money aside. They can throw money at a 401k. They can throw money at a savings account. They can just throw money at it and not sweat it. Most people, most Americans can't just throw money at a 401k. Not in today's time. Not in today's time, you need every single dime, let alone trying to put money into a 401k and then just because it's not going to happen. And then, like I say, on top of that, most of them don't even have enough to retire. Right? How many people, look it up right now, pause this video, come back to this video, go in Google or ChatGPT, how many people actually have $1 million+ to retire? You're going to see the number and it's going to be well less than 10%. You'll be lucky if it's 20%. I have to relook at the numbers, but it's nowhere, I'm sure guarantee is nowhere near 20% of Americans who retire at retirement age, let alone $500,000. Right? I think the average was around maybe $300,000, $350,000. You think that's enough to retire on? You think that's enough to go to Cabo and a hip replacement and a ankle brace and your medicine, your diabetes medicine and your high blood pressure medicine? What happens if you fall down and can't get up? I fall and then I can't get up. You think that stuff is cheap? You think that stuff is cheap? Why do you think you see so many retirees coming back into work? Why do you think there's so many retirees at positions that usually were reserved for the youth, right? Like McDonald's and Burger King and Wally World and, these beginner level cashier type positions, right? Why do you think so many older people are at these positions, 50, 60 years old, 70 even? Why do you think they're at these positions? They don't have enough to retire, fam. They ran out of money. Or they're about to run out of money, or they halfway through their money and they were like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it on this, right? Social Security not covering this either. Social Security not enough either, right? Which we may not even have. Social Security may be a distant dream by the time we get retirement age. Well, at least my generation. By the time we get retirement age, we'll be lucky if we have Social Security over the next 5 to 10 years, right? 2025 is your last year. 2025 is your last year. 2025 is make it or break it. They're already showing you the blueprint right now. As a matter of fact, join the Escape Blueprint, now available on Patreon. I'm dropping videos over there every single week to help you understand what needs to be done to escape the system, escape the matrix. Hit that link pinned at the description right now. But they're already constructing the blueprint right now. They're already showing you where they're taking it right now. Technology is already showing you what's going on, right? Crypto is already showing you what's going on, right? The government is trying to distance themselves as far away as possible, right? They're trying to save as much money as possible. The government is its own entity in itself. They're trying to get rich. Hell, the government is trying to make money too. They're trying to figure out, hey, with all of these emerging technologies, right? All of these emerging industries, how can we benefit from this? How can we benefit from Bitcoin? Right? How can we soak up more taxes? How can we get them to pay more taxes? How can we get people to work more, right? And take more? That's what they're doing. So shouldn't you in turn be thinking the same exact way? How can I make more and pay less? Right? How can I make more and do less? How can I become more efficient? Right? How can I make more money? Right? What different avenues can I take? What technologies will help me, get to my long-term goal? What emerging technologies that can help me become more efficient, my business more efficient? What technology or what industry can I jump into that can help me uh triple and double my income? This is how you need to be thinking. 2025 is your last year, right? Especially if you haven't already started. Right now, if you've already started, now that's a different story. But if you're just now, if you haven't gotten started, this is your last year, buddy. It's your last year. If you've already started and you already got the ball rolling, shouts out to you. Right? Shouts out to you if you already got the ball rolling. You already know what's going on. You already been you playing chess, along with me. Right? You've already done the things. You've already started what you needed to start. You started your YouTube, right? You started your podcast. You started studying. You went back to school. You're going to pilot school. You're going into STEM, right? You're studying algorithms, right? You're studying AI. You're going to school to become a AI engineer, whatever the case is, right? You're getting your CDL. I don't care what it is, right? You need to be making moves in order to set yourself up for life after 2025. Because if you don't set yourself up for life after 2025, guess what's going to happen? They're going to set you up for life after 2025. And you're not going to like how they set you up for life after 2025. Because what they're planning on doing is to make forever slave workers. Did you hear me, Ninja? They're planning, they want forever workers. This has been in the plan for decades at this point, right? This is why you got the school. This is why you come from grade school straight into the workforce. You go to grade school, go to college, and go straight into the workforce. They've already been training generations to go straight into the workforce. But at least then you had corporations willing to show some kind of loyalty. You had corporations willing to take care of the people. Now that is dead. But at the same time, they're still going from grade school to college straight into the corporate pipeline, the corporate slave pipeline, right? So you go straight into from the public indoctrination camps, straight into the corporate slave program. That's how that works, right? And many people still don't see it. You still got people walking around here talking about go and get a philosophy degree. Yeah, go in this what? Go into social sciences. Go and get a psychology degree. Why are you getting a psychology degree if you don't plan on being a psychiatrist? It's pointless. It's pointless. And most degrees are worthless. 70% of degrees are worthless anyway. But they're not going to tell you that. Why? Because they still need the money. For-profit universities still need stupid kids to come through, dumb parents to send them through because they have no knowledge, they have no wisdom, right? The parents, they're 45, 50 years old. Their degrees are worthless. They just been sitting at a job, sitting on a position for the past 20 years. They know nothing about what's going on. They still telling their kids, yeah, this is what I did and this is what you should do. And bro, this is not 40, 50 years ago. It's not 20 years ago when you were in school where a degree actually mattered. Most degrees are worthless, right? Hell, some would take it as far as saying college is worthless in itself. And I mean, I would say that as well. I mean, if really where college becomes beneficial at is networking. You're networking with other individuals. You're networking. You have the possibilities of meeting, other higher end families, right? How you think Facebook started? Facebook started with networking, right? Networking with other like-minded individuals, and they came together and said, "Hey, we got an idea. How about we do this? How about we work on this project and see how far we can take it?" And boom, Facebook billionaires. That's what university is really about. That's what college is really about for the women. It was supposed to be to go and find you a husband, right? You're going to find a like-minded individual who could, basically be your husband. That's what women used to go to college for, to find you a husband. Find someone you can see that had the mind and the knowledge and the degree field to take care of you and the family, right? And for men, you would go and link up and network with other like-minded individuals who had connections, whose fathers were CEOs, maybe they were executives, maybe they had a high position, right? Or maybe they were just well connected and they could get you into certain positions without you having to do much. That's what university is for. That's what that's for. But now kids are going to party with worthless degrees, right? The dang on parents that they're connected to are dim-witted as well, right? So you really have to really maneuver. But comfortability is dead. 2025 is your last year. This is last year. Mark my words, right? If you're not, you're going to have to take it to the extreme. And I'm going to talk about the extremes. I'm going to talk about the extremes on my Patreon, the Escape Blueprint PFP Life, right? The Escape Blueprint PFP Life, right? Purpose, freedom, power. I'm going to be talking about the extremes on my Patreon. So make sure you hit that link in the description right now and sign up for the Patreon. It's only $10 per month. Before I raise the prices, I'm trying to get y'all in there for $10 a month. After I raise the prices, I don't want to hear none of that, right? But I'll be talking about the extremes. But in 2025, you have to be taking it to the extreme, right? Extreme measures, right? For extreme circumstances. These are extreme circumstances. You don't want to get caught lacking. You don't want to get left behind, right? Most people will get left behind. Most men will be left behind, right? That's why I detach myself from the red pill, from the manosphere, because it's just a coping mechanism. Most of these men don't want to do anything. Most of these men don't want to exceed. They just want some punani. They want free punani. That's all they want. They want a woman that they can control, abuse, and all of that stuff without actually becoming the men that they need to be, becoming the men that they need to be. I'm trying to make men into men. Join the Escape Blueprint, now available on Patreon. Hit that link in the description. You need to be doing the extremes, not anything breaking the law. Now, that's not what I'm saying. I ain't tell you ninjas to break the law. What I am saying is you need to take it to the extreme, right? Because that's the only way that you're going to be making it, especially if you're starting from scratch right now and you haven't been, working and grinding, your way, for the past few years, the past year, or whatever the case is. Yeah, you're going to have to take it to the extreme, right? And that's an after pill. Get right. Like, comment, subscribe, sign up for the Patreon. Link is in the description. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.